Okay, so the other way to see your tasks is the home area up here. And the home area is not a view, it's a separate feature, but it achieves something similar to the view we created in the last video, where it gathers all of your tasks together and displays kind of what you need to do today. The key difference is it only works for tasks that are assigned to you, and there's no customization. So if your tasks are gathered in a different way, so for example, you're responsible for tasks that aren't assigned to you, the home area is just not going to work that great for you. It also doesn't include checklist items that are assigned to you. So if you are using a lot of checklists and checklist items, which isn't that common, then again, better to use that view we created in the last video. Okay, so the elements of the home area, the main one is My Work here. So the My Work area is a section of drop-downs and displays all the tasks that are assigned to you based on when they are due or scheduled. So you can see I have 3 tasks due today. One of them, it's not necessarily due today, but it was started yesterday. So it's due on Thursday, it was started yesterday, and so the expectation is that I'm working on it today. So it's included in there. And then I've got 2 that are genuinely due today. Cool, so that's probably what I'll work on first. Or perhaps actually I might skip to this overdue one that was due 4 days ago. Then I've got tasks that are coming up next. So these haven't been started or aren't due yet, but they do have a date they're coming up. And then finally I have tasks that are unscheduled. So these ones don't have any due date. Maybe I need to add a due date or just keep an eye on them as to when I need to do them. The next part is the other tabs. So here I have a tab for comments. So these are all the comments that are assigned to me. So you can see I've currently got 2 comments. If I resolve this one, then it will get removed. So this is a list of all the assigned comments that I haven't yet dealt with. Then I've got all my done tasks and then delegated. Delegated only works with reminders, which we'll talk about later on in this video. Okay, the next main section of the home area is this calendar. So the purpose of this calendar is to plan out your day. It displays one day only, which is today. And it shows your assigned tasks that are scheduled today. So the same as my 3 tasks here today, we can see them on the calendar. The cool thing is you can drag tasks to schedule them for which time of the day you want to do them. So let's say I'm going to do task B from 6 till 11, for example, and you can block out your day. You can also drag tasks from anywhere else. So I can drag tasks from overdue. So actually I'm going to do this one today as well, and then it might take me 2 hours. Now be careful if you are dragging tasks onto this calendar, it's going to reschedule them for today. So you can see task 2, instead of being overdue, I think it was 4 days ago, it's now being rescheduled to be due today, starting and finishing at those times. So by dragging it onto the calendar, you are removing and overriding the start and due date. So do be aware of that. That may not be acceptable if you're working with a team and those due dates are relevant to other people as well. Okay, you can also switch this from calendar view to agenda view. So you can just kind of see a simplified list of what you have to do today. And on the calendar setting, you can also show and hide subtasks or future recurring tasks. So they can be good to see as well. You can also add a Google Calendar to display that on here as well, or national holidays. Do be aware, if you do sync your Google Calendar, it doesn't add them as tasks, they're just kind of display items, which is good, but it will display on every single calendar view you look at. It is personal to you, but it's kind of not very editable. So because of that, I often have calendar views that I don't really want to see my Google Calendar tasks on, so I tend to leave it off. Hopefully in the future it'll be a bit more customizable. And the calendar can be hidden altogether if you don't use it. Okay, next up is trending tasks up the top here. Trending tasks are tasks that you've had open the most recently. So it's basically just ClickUp gathering up some tasks that it thinks are important to you. So for example, I just opened up a few tasks and now it thinks that these 3 are the ones that I've had open the most, and I can scroll across to see some more. Lastly is lineup. Now lineup is a feature that can be turned on or off. So you may or may not see it depending on how your work has set up your ClickUp. And what it does is it shows your tasks that you intend to do next. And it's also public. So for example, if I went to assign a task here, and I had a look at this our admin account and went to profile, I can see lineup at the top here and see that one task has been added to their lineup. So that's what they're intending to do today. And if I close this, I could go right click on a task, go to add to lineup, and add that to the lineup as well. So if I go back into profile, and I could reorder them or say, actually, no, this task is important today, take that out. So because it's public, it means that your managers could add tasks to people's lineups and people could see what they're supposed to be doing next. It'll be useful for some teams, other teams it won't be useful at all, and I'd suggest turning it off. Note that anyone can add and remove tasks from your lineup, so you'll need some sort of rules around when people are allowed to do that and not. Okay, and the last part of the home area is reminders. Reminders can be created at any time, similar to tasks. The shortcut is R. And reminders only live in your home area. So they don't live in your spaces, lists, and folders. They can't be pulled into a view. They only live in home. So it's kind of a licorice feature. Some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, I don't use the home view very much. I tend to use a view which is customized to show only my tasks, because I like the customization. And that means that I never see reminders. So because I never see them, I don't tend not to use them. But if you are using home on a regular basis, you will see reminders, and that will be potentially quite a useful feature for you. A lot of people like to use them as a way of quickly taking down an idea, which can then be processed into a task later on. So it could be as simple as follow up with someone, and you'll see that pops up, and straight away it's classified as today. You can snooze it, put on another day, in which case it'll come into my next section, mark it as done. You can add it to a list, which turns it into a task. Or you can delegate it to someone else, and that's when it goes into that delegated area. You can see I've also delegated another reminder there. You can delete it, and you can also add a notification. So those are reminders. They're basically quick items like tying a string around your finger, and if you use the home area, you'll see them and be able to remember to do them. And then very lastly, up the top here, we have @mentions, where someone has @mentioned you. So this is a good place as well to just see conversation and anything you need to follow up with. Okay, and that is the ClickUp home area.
Before you go, I've got something for you. After using ClickUp for a while, you'll find that it starts to get cluttered, hard to use, and things can start falling through the cracks, even if you set it up really well. And that's nobody's fault, it just happens. Cars need checkups to keep them running smoothly, and so does your ClickUp. What I have for you is the instruction manual on how. It's called the ClickUp Checkup, and it's a checklist of the things you need to do every 1 to 3 months that will prevent a whole swath of issues that start cropping up after you've been using ClickUp for about a year or so, sometimes sooner. So with it is a training video where I go through each of the checks myself so you can see exactly how I do it and why. A PDF with the checklist and quick reference instructions, and finally a ClickUp task template so you can instantly import all that directly into your ClickUp, have it recur each month or quarter with the checklist ready to go. Click the link in the description to get it now and prevent the headache of having the clarity you wanted from ClickUp turn into confusion. I'll see you on the inside.